everyone, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we are currently holding these kind of heavy cookie tins. We put together 9 different holiday recipes that you're going to see us make in a minute. And we put them in these tins. We're going to deliver them to our friends and our neighbors.
And we're partnering with our friends at Bob's Red Mill to put this video together, and this one cookie specifically. Jasmine, you want to tell us about it?
So we made a special recipe just for this video, and Bob's Red Mill challenged us to make a completely gluten-free cookie. So we did just that. We made a gluten-free ginger molasses cookie using their 1-to-1 baking flour and also their almond flour, and it doesn't even taste gluten-free. It is delicious. It's
moist on the inside,
crisp on the outside, packed with flavor, and it's one of my favorite cookies of all time. I don't know how I hadn't made a version for our website yet until this year, but it finally happened and I'm really excited for you to check it out. So you will see that coming right up. It'll be the first recipe in this video. And also we will have all the links to every single cookie down below. I will link these cookie tins down below as well if you're looking for some, because we found these really cute ones, and I don't know, I think they kind of seal the deal.
They make the perfect gift, honestly. And I think that's all we have to say. We hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get into it.
The first recipe we're making today are these ginger molasses cookies. In a large bowl, I'm adding in the gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour from Bob's Red Mill, along with their almond flour. Then I have cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves, and some baking powder. I'm going to mix that together until it is nice and uniform and set that aside. In a large bowl, I'm adding in some vegan butter and brown sugar and creaming that until it is nice and fluffy. Then I'm adding in a flax egg made with the golden flaxseed meal from Bob's Red Mill, along with vanilla extract and some molasses, of course. I'm gonna mix that together until everything is well incorporated and nice and smooth. And then I'm going to incorporate the dry ingredients into the wet and just mix that together until a smooth cookie dough forms. We're going to take our cookie dough and roll them into balls, and then roll those into some granulated sugar and transfer that to a lined baking sheet, and continue doing this until you have rolled out all of the dough. And the last step is to take a flat bottom cup, or you can even use the palm of your hands, and press down the cookies. Bake those until nice and golden, and enjoy.
The next recipe we're going to be making today are these gluten-free thumbprint cookies. In a large bowl, add in some vegan butter and whip that together with a hand mixer. Then we'll add in some sugar and cream that together with the butter. Once smooth, we'll add in our vanilla extract and our flax egg. Next, we'll add in our salt and baking powder, and then we'll gradually mix in our gluten-free flour. We'll mix everything through until fully incorporated, and we'll scrape down the sides as necessary. To make sure everything gets mixed together evenly, it's a good idea to use your hands, and then we'll just form a nice ball of dough. Once fully formed into a little ball like this, we'll just pop it in the fridge to chill. Once the dough is chilled, we'll scoop out 1 tablespoon sized balls, and then we'll roll them with our hands, and then roll them in some cane sugar. Next, we'll pop them onto a lined baking sheet, and then we'll create some dents in them with a little teaspoon, and we'll fill them up with some apricot and strawberry jam. You can use either or both, and then we'll pop them in the oven to bake. Once finished, they'll look like this, and you have these delicious gluten-free thumbprint cookies.
Next up, we're making some vegan gingerbread cookies. In a bowl, I'm going to sift together all-purpose flour, ground ginger, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon, along with some baking powder and baking soda. Just sift that until everything is nice and smooth. Then we're going to add salt. Mix that until uniform and set this bowl aside. In another large bowl, I'm going to add in some vegan butter, brown sugar, and some unsulfured molasses, and we're going to cream that together until it is nice and fluffy. Add in some vanilla extract, and we're just going to blend that until everything is smooth and uniform. Then we're going to incorporate the dry ingredients, and you may have to use your hands here just to get everything well incorporated. Then we're just going to place that into the refrigerator to chill for about an hour, then roll out the dough. I like to roll this out directly on my silicone baking mat. It's just so much easier, so I don't have to transfer the cookies and risk messing them up. So if you have a silicone baking mat, I would suggest this, because you just cut the cookies out, remove the excess pieces, transfer this to your baking sheet and bake, and they come out perfect. All you have to do now is add your icing and enjoy.
Next up on our cookie menu, we have these super cute vegan sugar cookies. In a large bowl, add in some vegan butter and some sugar, and we'll cream that together with a hand mixer. Next, we'll add in our flax egg as well as some almond and vanilla extract. We'll continue to mix everything together until fully combined, and then we'll gradually add in our flour. We'll mix it through until it's nice and incorporated. Using our hands always helps as well, until a nice dough forms. Once we have a little ball of dough like this, we'll set it in the refrigerator to chill. Once chilled, we'll remove the dough from the fridge and then we'll roll it out into a nice thin layer. Using your favorite cookie cutters, we'll just cut out our shapes. We do have a Dachshund cookie cutter, but I'm kind of disappointed we didn't use it here. And then we'll just gently peel away the excess dough and then we'll reform that to make more cookies. All that is left to do now is bake our cookies, let them cool, and then decorate.
Next, we're making some vegan eggnog snickerdoodles. In a large bowl, add in some all-purpose flour, along with baking powder, salt, cream of tartar, nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. Mix that until it is nice and uniform and set that aside. In another large bowl, I'm going to add in some vegan butter along with brown sugar and some granulated sugar and cream that together until it is nice and fluffy. Then we're going to be adding in a flax egg along with some vanilla extract and our vegan eggnog. Mix that together until it is nice and smooth, nice and fluffy. And then we're going to incorporate the dry ingredients and just mix that together until a smooth cookie dough is formed. As for the cookie topping, we're going to mix not only some sugar and cinnamon, but we're also adding in nutmeg to give it an extra kick of spice. And we're going to roll the dough into balls and then roll that into the sugar coating. Then transfer that to a lined baking sheet and bake these until they're nice and golden. And these turn out amazing. I'm so excited for you to try them.
The next cookie we're making today are these cinnamon twists. They're actually a recipe from my mom. In a large bowl, we'll cream together some vegan cream cheese and some vegan butter. Once fully combined, we'll gradually add in our flour. We'll continue to mix everything through until a nice dough forms. And if your dough does seem a little bit too wet, you can add more flour as needed. As with the other cookie recipes, it does help to use your hands. If the dough does feel crumbly at first, that's totally normal, but once it gets to a stage like this, we'll just pop it in the fridge to chill. As the dough sets, we'll make our filling. We'll add some walnuts to a food processor and we'll let that process until fine. We'll transfer our ground walnuts to a small bowl and then add in some cane sugar and some brown sugar. We'll mix that through until a nice mixture forms, and then we'll add in some cinnamon as well. And then we'll just set that aside to add to our dough later. We'll remove our dough from the fridge, add it to a floured work surface, and roll it into a thin layer. Once fully rolled out, we'll coat the dough with a thin layer of almond milk. This will help the mixture stick to the dough. Next, we'll generously coat our dough with the cinnamon, walnut, and sugar mixture that we made earlier. And then using a pizza cutter, we'll cut our dough into 1-inch by 2-inch strips. All that's left to do now is twist our cookies into little spirals like this, line them on our baking sheet, and then pop them in the oven to bake. And that's it. You have these delicious and beautiful cinnamon twist cookies.
Next up, we're making some vegan peppermint meltaway cookies. First, we're going to cream together some vegan butter and powdered sugar until that is nice and smooth. I'm adding in some peppermint extract as well and blending that through. Next, I'm adding in some all-purpose flour, cornstarch, and a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to mix that until a cookie dough forms. Then I'm going to set that aside. In a high-speed blender, I'm adding in some vegan candy canes, and I'm going to grind those into a powder, and then mix those together in a bowl with some powdered sugar until it is nice and uniform. The next step is to roll out the cookie dough into balls, and then roll those into the sugar mixture. Transfer that to our baking sheet and bake that until the cookies are nice and golden. And once the cookies have baked, we're going to roll them again in that sugar mixture, and that's it. These are really good, really easy to make, and these are one of my favorite holiday cookies, so I hope you enjoy.
Next, we're making these super easy, no-bake peanut butter cookies. To a food processor, we'll add in some rolled oats, and we'll let that process until a nice flour forms. Next, we'll add in some creamy, unsalted peanut butter, along with some more rolled oats. And this is optional, but we're also adding some vanilla extract and some salt. Lastly, we'll be adding in a bunch of pitted medjool dates. Then we'll just let that process until a nice dough forms. It will be a little bit chunky, but that's totally okay. If the mixture does appear a bit too dry, you can add in some water to smooth things out. We'll pop the lid on, let that process one more time, and then once it looks like this, we are ready to add it to a baking sheet. We'll roll our peanut butter cookies into little balls, and then using a fork we can make a cross-section pattern on the cookies. Pop these in the freezer to set, and just like that we have these delicious no-bake peanut butter cookies.
The last recipe we're making today are these pecan shortbread cookies. So to start, we're going to toast up some pecans on a baking sheet. And in the meantime, we're going to prep the rest of the cookie ingredients. So in a large bowl, I'm going to add in some vegan butter along with some brown sugar and some granulated sugar and cream that together until it is nice and fluffy. Then I'm going to add in some vanilla extract along with salt and orange zest and mix that together until everything is nice and uniform. I'm adding the dry ingredients straight into this bowl, so I have some dried cranberries and all-purpose flour, and I'm going to mix that together until a cookie dough starts to form. And the last thing is the toasted pecans that we had toasted earlier. Add those in and mix them through. Then we're going to form this dough into a log, and you can transfer this to plastic wrap, parchment paper, or vegan wax wrap, which is what I have here. I'll link it down below. And just make sure it's nice and compact, and we're going to transfer this to the refrigerator to chill until it is nice and firm. And then once it is firm, we're going to just slice the cookie dough into, well, cookies. And the good thing about this is you can slice and go. So you can just slice 1 or 2 cookies and bake those and keep the rest in the refrigerator for later, just in case you don't want to make the whole recipe. So we're going to pop these into the oven and bake them until they're nice and golden. And the last step is to make our icing. So we're going to mix together powdered sugar, orange juice, and vanilla extract, along with some almond milk or water until it is nice and loose. Then we're just going to drizzle these over the baked cookies and dig in. Enjoy! Thank you guys so much for watching.
We hope you enjoyed this video.
If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out here on YouTube, and consider subscribing if you aren't already subscribed.
Comment down below and let us know your favorite cookie that we made today, and also let us know your favorite holiday cookies.
And also, if you end up baking some cookies for your loved ones and delivering them, let us know just how it went, I guess. I don't know. I'm really excited for you to try this out. It's a really fun idea, like we said in the beginning, and I'm really excited to deliver these.
Let's go. Let's go deliver these.
All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
T-Bone.
Tom, you guys,
Everybody, there he is in the flesh. Louie. How's it going? What up, what up?
Okay, buddy, I have something for you.
What?
So, Chris and Jasmine stopped by last night and they brought us some Christmas cookies.
What?
Yeah.
Did they make them?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just for us for Christmas.
Whoa!
What do you think? Is it good?
It's really good. Thank you, Chris and Jasmine. Thank you.
Baron says thank you too. Say thank you.